Hi, it's me again with Corel Draw Tips and Tricks, and somebody sent me an email today or messaged me off of one of my videos and asked me how you would distress a flag, and he asked for Corel X8. I'm using 6 for this video, but most definitely 8 would have all these tools. And here's the pictures he sent me of what he kind of wanted it to look like. There's two ways you could do it. You could just start with a clean flag and just draw you some lines and make the flag, or you could trace it, and then it traced pretty good. It's pretty jagged. I don't know if he's doing it for engraving or sublimation. You would most definitely want to change the colors if it's for engraving to turn them black, or if you're doing it for like a t-shirt and it wants color. I often forget that most of my videos were for engravers. But you could take this clip art type flag, or you could start from scratch. And if you started from scratch, there's several tools you could use to do it. And I'm sure there's maybe even better ways. But let's just take all I did to make this flag, I just drew bars. I've color filled them with black, if you would, for an engraver. And let's actually move it down, because I think I actually colored it white first. Just get rid of our outline, and then that's how you would just duplicate that line down. But there's several tools that you could use, and one of them would be the eraser tool, which is under your crop tool, and you could make your nib any size you want and just start erasing. You have to click on your item first and then just start erasing some lines. And let's zoom in here a little bit. And then the ones that maybe you didn't want this part, instead of taking the eraser, you could take it and go to break curve apart, and then you could just pick that little spot and delete that little spot. So you could do it that way. You could use the roughing brush. You have to click on your item and just start roughing up some of these. And even if you didn't like this look, you could always, let's zoom in here, and then get your shape tool and just start taking some of these nodes and just extending them out, doing anything you want, and make it as rough as you want. You can use the smear tool. The smear tool would kind of do things, and there's different brushes. One of them is more rounded, smooth smear, and one of them's a little pointed smear. And like I said before, you could just go like that. And then you could still get your shape tool and take each individual node and just move the nodes around. With the eraser tool, you could actually erase part of the flag, like at the bottom. Go up to arrange, break curve apart, and then you could just delete that one. And what I'm going to suggest, if you were going to do this and draw your own flag, maybe you have to click on your object before you start erasing. Maybe start with one and get it kind of neat. Here we can go from the shaping tool and pull some of these nodes out, in sporadically. Do whatever you want. That doesn't look too good. You could add a node. But then what I suggest, if you're going to do this for yourself and start off with a blank canvas, I've got my nudge factor set on 3. This stripe is 3 inches thick. Then you could go Control D and move it down to. You could mirror it so they're a little bit different. You could flip it, and then you could do more distressing to this one, or you could actually put that one down further so they wouldn't be next to each other, and just Control D. Well, let's delete that one, but Control D, So you could start off with 3 that kind of look the same, but then you could change, you know, instead of doing a lot of work to each one of them, you could do a little bit of, you know, you could go in the middle and do some distressing. Then you could grab your roughing brush and rough that up. So there's several ways you can do it, and I'm sure there's more ways than that. Then you could use the, let's see, you could go down to distort. Let's zoom in here a little bit. Now the distort tool, you kind of have to really watch what you're doing because you could distort it too much. See, like that. But if you just barely move it, you could distort it a little bit, especially on the ends. And you can change your pressure. Let's change your, and while you've got it, you've distorted it too much, so you could change your zipper, or you could change this right here and just make them a little bit different. So this would be a good one to start with, and then make a duplicate of that, put it maybe a couple lines down, flip it so it doesn't look like the other one entirely. But that's pretty good in distorting. And I'm not sure how that would engrave, but if he's doing it for color sublimation and he wanted that red stripe, it kind of looks like the other. And I'm sure there's many other ways to do this. Like, see on that one, that's way too much. But once you get one you kind of like, then you can make duplicates of it and reuse it and just flip it, and, you know, both directions so it doesn't look like the other one. But I think you could really start off with the trace first and then just kind of doctor up the trace, because you can do all these same things, you know, with the one you traced, and you've kind of got a good start. Anyway, I hope that helped him a little bit. Thank you for watching.